So what do we do when we build it and they come? How do we know we're really ready to take care of them? And how do we prepare ourselves for these periods of rapid growth in our business? That's what we're going to talk about today. And it doesn't have to be as terrifying as it might feel when you're getting started. Hey there, I'm Penny Kelly with Marketing Profit School. I am the Chief Profit Catalyst and Prosperity Cultivator. I'm also the founder, and I help businesses grow. That is the simple way of what I do. And all of this started years ago when people came to me for Facebook ads help or Google ads help. And we dug into their numbers and we realized they didn't really have an ad problem. They really had an offer problem or a message problem or something else. Their ads were okay. So this led me into a deeper level of business coaching and helping businesses grow. And you can subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the bell so you always know when a video drops, as well as go ahead and like this video if you like what you hear later on in the program. Today's not going to be super long because this is kind of a simple one, although it can really shift your perspective. So what I'm going to talk about is the same thing I coach clients on. Actually, I was helping somebody on a call this morning. It turned into something a little bit different than what we'd come in for. And I realized that there's so many things we take for granted that are just, everyday reflexive habit for us, especially if you're an expert in your field, that is mind-blowing for someone else, or is definitely a new way to look at doing things for someone else. So what I've seen in a lot of businesses over the years is these pops in rapid growth. And this is like you're chugging along and you're just trying to, make a little money. Maybe you've had a launch that hasn't gone great, or you've put an offer out and you've had trouble with it. And we hear about that a lot, about the struggle, right? Getting off the struggle bus, and you put your offer out and nobody raises their hand, or it's crickets, or you get 3 people to sign up instead of 20, or you sell 10 to your list instead of 100 like you thought you were going to. And we hear a lot of coaching and training about how to kind of dust off, look at your data and get back on the horse and, put it out again until you get the numbers better. So the flip side of that is when you've actually been working on something and you've made that incremental growth over time, and then it just takes off. And I remember several years ago sitting with 2 friends of mine that I was working to get from like 6-figure to multiple 6-figure, and they both had 7-figure businesses. And they were like, the thing is, you never know when it's just going to pop and your whole business changes. And when that happens, and I've seen that happen in clients' businesses, I've seen that happen in teams when I've been working on an entrepreneur's business. And I kind of sense that's coming around in my own business pretty soon because some of the indicators are there. And it brought this up because hopefully you get to deal with this problem one day, right? This is a great problem to have. So what are the things to do to maintain your sanity during rapid business growth? And I am not talking about growing from 10 million to 50 million. You've got to have all the things in place to make that happen. I'm talking about growing from 5K months to 25K months, or from, 10, 15 up to 50,000 a month, or all of a sudden hitting a 6-figure launch when you've never done more than 15 or 20 in a launch before. A client I was working with a couple of years ago kept maxing out between 20 and 25K a month. She could do a launch and pull in about 50 to 60. And we got her in about a 3-month period. We got her to 6-figure months, and she actually hit 7 figures for the first time in her business later on that same year, just a few months later. So it's very doable. Once you have proof of concept and your offers converting, it's just a matter of tweaks to get from your first 6 figures to multiple 6-figure business. It really is. So what do we do to maintain that sanity? It's the 3 S's for me. And so systems, support, and self-care. And here's what that looks like. Systems. You don't have to have like big and fancy and your own server and all this kind of craziness that you hear people talk about. Simplifying your systems, right? But understanding how your systems work, or having someone on your team, if you're at that point, that understands how the systems work. Because when you go into a period of rapid growth and you start getting a lot of clients coming in quickly, things are going to break. The wheels are going to come off. Something's not going to be connected. I just realized today something in my quiz funnel wasn't connecting to ActiveCampaign, so I had to go in and fix it. And there are people that took their quiz 4 hours ago that are just now getting their results. And that's okay. This is what happens when we make changes in our business or when we're growing. These little things happen and they're not that difficult to overcome, especially if you follow up, the next day with, hey, oops, we had a little tech gremlin. We had a little tech gremlin and here's what happened. If I could speak, that would help. So systems are very important when you're going through growth. And I like to think of like the best place to put these in is in your email service tool. And for me, that's ActiveCampaign. So putting some automations in place so it frees up my time to go out and do the high touch and do the things that make a difference to the prospects coming through and to new customers and onboarding and new clients. And so that is a whole, can of worms you can open, but think about the systems you can put in place to get some of your time back so that you can have as high a touch as possible in those final stages of buying and in the onboarding process, because those are really when you need to make connections with your clients for long-term happiness, because there is no better marketing than a happy client. So systems. This is also simple things like having your SOPs in place or documenting your processes so you can hand it off to a VA and get some help. Things like that. Just very simple things, right? And support that VA. Maybe that's an integrator, like an OBM for you. For a lot of us, it is just a VA or maybe two. Maybe someone to help with your social media. Maybe you need somebody on the tech end if you're not a tech person to help you put things together. But don't overthink it. Just think of, if you think of your zone of genius, where you want to be spending your time to work on your business, and then the things that make you feel like they're just weighing you down and take too long to do, and it's not your love language, right? That is just, it's outside your wheelhouse and you have to do it because it's your business. So how quickly, what does your revenue need to be to justify paying someone to do that thing that you really don't like doing but needs to be done? And that is also, for if you're going through a true launch, that would also be maybe a customer support person, because that's when you're going to get a lot of questions, or having a system in place like Help Scout or Zendesk or something like that, where you can manage that customer support that comes through during a natural launch cycle. And self-care. So if you are a small business owner, and most of my clients are kind of what I think of as a micro business or very small business, it's just you, or it's you and a couple of VAs, or you and a couple of VAs and one or two other, people that you have on contract or something. Taking care of yourself. You are the IP. You're the heart of the business, and the business depends on you. So when we get stressed out about our business, we don't sleep well. We don't eat properly. We stop exercising. We stop doing all the things that make us healthy. So you want a, fine-tuned, oiled car that takes really good care of you on the road. You got to take care of yourself so you can take care of your business and your family and everything else too. So self-care and really putting in some time for that when you are going into these high stress, high growth periods, it becomes even more important to carve that time out and make sure it happens. So systems, support, and self-care. And as a bonus, simplicity. I don't know about you, for sure, any of us that are experts in your field again, but also if you were kind of an overachiever in school maybe, and you like to get things right, we tend to overcomplicate things. So think about the simplest version. Maybe you've heard the phrase of a minimum viable product, right? And I like the phrase that Todd Brown uses, a minimum viable funnel. And actually, I was in that same conversation earlier today. I was talking about the movie, The Hunt for Red October, and the scene where they take the helicopter out to get the guy on the submarine, Alec Baldwin's character, who's Jack Ryan in the books. And one of the other officers on the first boat he's on the aircraft carrier, says, in order to get you that far north, we have to strip it down so you're on, I think he just said it's a flying gas tank, right? And so how simple can you make your funnel and your offer? So your purpose is to make sales and serve your clients. Proof of concept. I've literally had clients that had a 6-figure business with a free Facebook account and a PayPal account and their phone, and that was it. So don't overcomplicate it. Let it be easy and let the things flow that need to flow, and then get the systems in place to make it simpler for you instead of more complicated. We don't want to add layers on unnecessarily with systems. We want systems that are going to help us simplify and make it easier. So that is my best advice for maintaining your sanity during times of rapid growth. And I hope for you that those times of rapid growth come very soon. If you have any other things to add, or if you had a favorite part, drop it in the comments and let me know. And remember to give this a thumbs up and a like, subscribe, and click the little bell so you know when new videos are dropped. Also, I have a brand new quiz available. So if you want to know what is stopping your business growth, you can take my quiz to find out what is your #1 business growth blind spot. And I would love to see what your results are and see if there's a way that I can help you eliminate that blind spot and get back on track to grow your business the way you want and the way you deserve. So until next time, I am Penny Kelly with Marketing Profit School, and I will see you then.